All right, here we are for our Ace Q&A for December.
The card is gone.
The card is missing, so we wrote it on my hand.
We have devolved. Our production values are going down dramatically.
It washes off.
December. Let's hit
do
the
it.
questions.
Left-handed folks often reverse the mouse buttons. Will that be supported? On the same topic, will there be support for gaming pads or controllers?
Great question. In fact, I think for this one, probably it'd be better to get Billy to come talk about it since he's working on that system.
That's his wheelhouse. Let's bring him in.
All right, I'll go get him.
What's up, Blair?
Hey, how you doing, Billy? We have a question for you.
Okay.
And the question is about remapping keys and using gamepads.
Is that really what the question is?
It certainly is. I think there's some scaling in there, too.
Is that literally what the question is?
Yeah. I'm paraphrasing. I don't have it in front of me, but
sure. When it comes to remapping keys, that's certainly on our roadmap. You and I have been collaborating on basically an overhaul of our game and input settings, which I've been slowly kind of working into each new build that we do.
Very slowly.
We just added mouse sensitivity support because that was a critical
huge issue in the Hunger Dome.
But to be honest, remapping keyboard, remapping mouse, and everything, it's not just tackling one at a time. It's part of a much larger effort where we want to open up controller input and just control input kind of all together as one system. So you will be able to remap your keyboard bindings, your mouse bindings, and then kind of as a step one. And then as a step two, that's when we start supporting things like gamepads and letting you map actions and key combinations to a gamepad.
How about scale?
Scale in terms of UI customization. We've shown that. We actually have working versions of that. You can drag your HUD around and you can scale things, reposition things independently or as groups. And we found that it was a little bit buggy. Like for the people who knew how it worked, it was totally easy to use.
Sure.
But for folks just jumping in who didn't know that they could move things around, it was kind of scary and a little buggy. So we basically took that feature out for the public. But we're still working on it right now. And the grand vision is to really let people completely customize their layouts by position, scaling, maybe even being able to retint and reshape certain HUD elements.
Okay.
And then saving their personal profiles, right? So they can...
When do you think we'll see this?
Well, I'll just wrap it tomorrow. It's
great.
It's almost done.
I love it when they say tomorrow.
No, I think the simple answer is soon. A lot of these things, it's like spinning plates, right? Got a lot going on all at the same time. So we actually have a lot of these features already started, right? We have a lot of proof of concept stuff that helps us feel good about the direction we're heading, and then we'll kind of put things on hold for a little bit because that's not a problem anymore, and we go and solve other problems. But I've been steadily trying to clear my plate so I can get back to these things because as a guy whose hands were built for a gamepad, it's something I'm really personally kind of passionate about is getting that support in. But we don't get that support until we first make sure that we have proper keyboard and mouse customization. So that's coming online very soon.
Great.
Tomorrow,
I hear. All right, that covers it. Why don't you get back to work and let's bring Todd back on.
All right, so there you go, straight from Billy.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It went great. He said we're getting it tomorrow.
That's not true. That's absolutely not accurate at all.
Oh, come on.
But it will be coming soon.
That's great.
And he is working on it. That part is true.
Always crushing our dreams.
All right. What else you got, John?
Will there be a user clock in the game? And if so, will it be based on calendar time?
Okay, so passage of time is pretty critical to our game. In fact, it's kind of time is like the first of our facets that we innovated on, right? So there obviously has to be an in-game clock because we need something to pass the day-night cycle and the seasons. That said, it won't be connected to real-world time. I mean, that would be pretty crappy. If I only can play on Tuesday and Thursday nights, for example, I would be stuck always playing at night.
Right.
And so that's not particularly fun. So it'll be definitely much faster. We may even vary it. We talked about having, in the spring and summer, having the days be longer. And as you proceed through fall and winter, the nights get longer and longer, and potentially even it goes to all night. So we're going to play with that. We haven't got the day-night cycle in yet, so once we do, we'll see how it feels. And
It's more of a game clock than a real-world clock.
yeah, it's definitely it's a game clock. It is synced to real-world time because campaigns last 3 months. But it's not like, you're in the month of November or
Right.
something like that. Like we're not going to make up a fake clock to match the real clock or anything like that.
Even though we already have one of the months, apparently.
November. It's a Gurns Day, I think. The 18th of November. It was a Gurns Day.
Great.
What features will be added for maps?
So maps is an interesting one. Generally speaking, the feeling that we want is to try and avoid giving too much information about the campaign
Right.
world, especially at the beginning. So like we've avoided a mini map, and we'd like to continue doing that.
Everyone expects a mini map, but we totally don't. We don't expect one.
Yeah, exactly. So I like the compass actually that we have, right? We need to add, if you played in Hunger Dome, you know that there's a compass for your party and it shows basically directionality. It also needs to show whether they're alive or dead.
Right.
And it needs to show, it needs to scale to show you distance. But that actually works pretty well.
It was a really quick implementation. It works pretty well.
It's a great way for you to find people, and it doesn't just give you all the information about the area. Like it's better than that. So in
Right.
terms of a world map, we do have Fog of War, and we do know that eventually we need to provide some kind of a map, but we can wait on that, and figure out later
Right.
exactly how that's going to be created in the game. What's important to me too is I don't want to come up with a solution that is hackable. I don't want the first day the campaign starts,
Right.
people immediately just download the map and put it out, because that would be cheating. So whatever solution we have to make sure that the Fog of War is actually something sent down from the server so that you have to discover that world over time.
Sounds reasonable.
Okay, there you go, maps. All right, so one more thing, I guess we should probably address a question that nobody asked, because
Bonus question.
we haven't given them enough information to ask about. So we have a reveal coming up this month. The best guess we've heard so far is permadeath. And the answer to that is?
Not permanent.
It is not permadeath. There is actually one way in this system that you potentially can lose a character, but it's not traditional permadeath.
Right.
So let's give another hint about this system. What do you want to say about it?
It is not commonly seen in fantasy games.
That's true, but it has been seen in other games.
In other styles, yes.
Yes, in other games. So I think that's probably enough for now, and it's not permadeath. So, and it touches, as we said before, advancement, skills, respawn. Like it touches a whole bunch of different other stuff. So,
All right.
There you go. That'll be it for the unasked bonus question.
Bonus question.
All right, so I think that's it for this month. So we didn't have a lot of questions this month, which is great.
They've all been answering them on the forums.
We've been answering on the forums.
Right, I mean...
so I guess thank you to all the people who submitted questions again, just like every month. And we'll see you next month, which is November.
Is it a real month?
Yes, I think we'll see you in the month of November.
See you later, everybody.
See you guys.